everybody, it's Pineapple here, back with another video. Now we're talking about Lab again. I wanted to, experiment a lot more with Arias. She does everything for this deck. I just love this card so much. And I frankly cannot wait for Age of Overlord. October cannot come soon enough when she comes. I'm so excited. So we're just going to hop right into it, card by card, etc., etc. Got some replays, got some demonstrations, some combos and stuff I wanted to showcase. So we're just going to dive right into how this card just changes everything about the deck, makes it faster, etc., etc. Of course, we're on 2 copies of Lady, as is standard. It's Lady. You should be familiar with this at this point. 2 copies of Golem in the main. Just Golem's really good right now. Parley is everywhere. They usually leave an extra monster on top of their Noir up. So, just handing them a Lava Golem to out, a big Noir is very, very good because, we can't really deal with Noir. It's a very powerful card that we struggle to deal with, as well as just being, a more applicable Kaiju, especially with Arias in the game, meaning we don't necessarily need our normal. We are on a single copy of Lovely. Again, we don't need any extra copies of a brick, even if Arias is in the game. Copy of Pankrotop's just an insane going second card that, we can make full use of. It's Pank. Don't think it really needs to be explained too much. It's just that it's a very helpful tool for going second. Copy of Unchained Soul Shavara. We are playing the Unchained package. Specifically going second, I like to kind of board out of the main deck stuff because it's, really sucks to draw going second. But going first, it feels really good to, try to end on Rage, as well as, your full board. Rage Escape plus, a big welcome is pretty much an FTK. It feels really good. And the brand new card, Arias the Labyrinth Butler. If you're unfamiliar, during your main phase quick effect, you can send this card, during the main phase, I should say. Sorry, not during your main phase. During the main phase, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard as a cost. From your hand, either special a Labyrinth monster or set a normal trap, and that set card can be activated this turn. And when your opponent activates a card or effect in response to the activation of your Labyrinth card or effect, except itself, or your normal trap card or effect while this card is in your graveyard, quick effect, you can special summon this card, and you can only use each effect once per turn. Just an unbelievable card. It's a recursive body who, if you get Ash trying to go for a turn 1 play, leaves you with a body on board to go into your Unchained stuff. Just exceptionally good. We're on 3 copies of Ariana. It's Ariana. It's a normal summon the starter. Just fantastic. It searches everything. It's a 4, which means that you can use it and Arias to make our boy Chaos Angel. Just fantastic. Searches everything, draws cards. It's Ariana. 3 copies of Chandra and Stovey. It's Chandra and Stovey. Extra copies of Big, extra copies of Welcome. People seem to think that Big Welcome's going to 1. It's not, but if it is, get more furniture. A copy of Clock. Again, we can search it, but Arias kind of does sort of the same thing to a certain degree, but they kind of fill different roles. It's just that Clock, does a whole lot of things. But he's very useful for committing war crimes turn 0. I do love him very much. 3 copies of Prosp. We want to be finding exactly what we need. We don't want to be, doubling up on extra copies of, a second Lava Golem, a second copy of, Welcome. We want to be picking what we get, and I don't want to be losing because my goddess is banished and I see Pep. It's prosperity. I think it's better than extra. That's my personal opinion. We're on a copy of the Field Spell, a copy of Glitch, because I go into my extra so much because we just put out so many bodies. We make the Unchained stuff super fast that, I don't think Punishment is viable anymore, and I think Ghastly Glitch is kind of just better at this point. Strange enough to say it as it is. We're on 2 copies of Welcome, as is standard. I would say you could probably trim this to 1, but that said, it is still, I like it at 2. I like seeing it. It's fine. It's one of the cards of all time. It gets us to Lovely, and that's good enough for me. 3 copies of Transaction Rollback. This isn't out in the TCG. I am anticipating, I'm hoping and praying that it will come in, say, I don't know, the tins, because, Konami likes to debut cards in the Mega Tins. I hope it does, because it lets us get around Ash Blossom. It helps us beat Ash Blossom. It's fantastic. When it's in the graveyard, pay half your life, target a normal trap in your graveyard, except itself, and this effect becomes that normal trap's effect when that card is activated. In other words, you get to beat Ash Blossom, you get to beat Bell. It just says that, you don't have to play Strike, you don't have to play Call It By, you just can just pitch this off furniture, win the game. 3 copies of Infirm as a good hand trap. Ice Dragon's Prison, just a really strong removal effect. A copy of Daruma Cannon because it's the best normal trap removal card. A copy of Escape as a target for Shavara. It's kind of a brick, and I'm not 100% sold on it, but when you don't draw it, it feels really good. A copy of Eradicator. It's Eradicator. A copy of Terrors because it's Solos Kashtira. And 3 copies of Big Welcome. In the extra, I have a copy of Entis, 2 Chaos Angel, a Malong, a Mirror Logic, a Goddess, a copy of Trouble Sunny, an Unchained Abomination, an Access Code Talker, a copy of Anguish, a Unicorn, a copy of Unchained Soul King Yama. This card's fantastic. It searches Shavara, and if a card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect once in grave, banish it, special summon a fiend from your hand or grave. Just so good. A copy of Rage and 2 copies of Muck. In the side, we have an extra copy of Lava Golem, the target for a Trouble Sunny, Bestial Package, 3 copies of Ulti Slayer, 2 copies of Cyclone, a Deck Dev, a D-Barrier, and 3 copies of Anti-Spell. So with that, let's hop into a demonstration on just why I think Arias, enables so much degenerate turn 0 plays and why I love her so much. So when you are, going second, Arias enables you to do some unholy stuff. For example, you can fire Arias, and, if you have Lady in hand, it will trigger Lady. If you have Big Welcome, you can chain Lady to Big Welcome, and you can get something like an Eradicator. And then you can bounce your Clock to your hand. This allows you to use Clock the same turn, and then, you can Eradicator them turn 0. In theory, unfortunately, Arias is just during the main phase. You can't just do it in their draw phase. Draw phase Eradicator turn 0. I wish you could. I'm unfortunately disappointed that they had the foresight to prevent you from doing that. But for the health of the game, I'm a little happy that they did. But essentially, Arias plus a Big Welcome, or any Welcome, I should say. Arias plus any Welcome plus Lady is, any normal trap on your opponent's turn 0. That's a fantastic effect. Just unbelievable. I can't stress enough just how stupidly strong that will be. So I just wanted to showcase the new combo that you can do at this point. So we're going to start off with game 1 of a best of 3 against Branded, and our poor Branded friend has opened basically nothing. We'll start with Stovey, Pitch, Transaction, Rollback, and then set 3 more cards. They'll draw for turn its Branded Fusion, which is a pretty good start. They'll go Deployment here, they'll get out a cart, and from here they will activate Regain, they'll activate Branded Fusion. Ooh, and that is in an Imperm column, and you have no monsters to chain Cartesia, and that is very unfortunate for you, my friend. End phase will go for Ariana. And I'm not sure why they didn't go to battle. I forget if Fusion Deployment has any, stuff. I didn't care either way. We'll get Ghastly Glitch here, summon out a copy of Lovely, trigger Stovey, or Chandra, forgive me, and then we'll pop their back row, which is a Banishment. Start another turn, we'll put that card back in the hand, and then proceed to, rip some more cards out of their hand, reset a bunch of things. We'll use Transaction Rollback here to trigger Welcome again, push for game. This is why Transaction Rollback is so good. Even if they don't have Ash, you get to just push for game so fast. At this point, we have well over like 10k damage, and our opponent will say, I've seen enough, let's go next. Now, for game 2, we are, of course, going second, and our poor opponent has opened double Albaz. It's not their day, but they have opened Deployment plus a Luber, which is good enough. From here, they're going to make a copy of Mask. I'm not sure why they didn't make Grand Guignol, but I guess they're probably not playing Jinzo. That's my presumption. From here, we will proceed to, fire off a copy of Pizza Hut, and unfortunately, they're going to make Dragoon here. Which really sucks. They'll Dragoon our Magnemite, which is fine by me, I guess. It is what it is. We'll Imperm this Masquerade here just so that, we aren't taking a whole bunch of damage, because we are going to be using a whole bunch of effects here. We'll pop the Masquerade with this copy of Entis, and then proceed to go for Prosperity, finding off the top. Exactly, Arias, which is exactly what we're looking for. From here, we're just trying to wall up against this Dragoon in order to facilitate the ability to make Underworld Goddess. And from here, we'll go get a copy of Ariana off of this ever lovely copy of Welcome. We will fire Clock here, we'll go for Big Welcome, and we'll get out a copy of Lovely. From here, we will proceed to trigger just about everything on the planet, which is nothing. We'll reset a copy of Big with enough crackback to survive a turn here. They'll activate Lost, we'll flip up Big here. Since our opponent can't respond with monster effects, thanks to Lovely, we are in a very strong position here. From here, they'll negate our Welcome, which is totally fine because we get to trigger Arias. The only value was just that we were going to get, another body on the board. From here, we'll remove the Branded Lost in order to, let them walk over our Lovely. This is completely fine by us. We'll draw for turn. It's another copy of Ariana, which really sucks because now we get punished for, holding this Stovey. And from here, we will special out this copy of Clock. We'll summon an Ariana and go get a copy of Lady. From here, we're in a very good position as we can make Goddess. We'll go for Big. We'll put the Clock back in hand as we want to be able to hold on to this, and we'll trigger everything on the planet. From here, we're just going to go get a whole bunch of more resources. We'll fire Welcome, chain Lady, and from here, we're going to get Dimensional Barrier for our opponent next turn. And from here, we're going to link off. We're going to make Goddess. They'll try to go for Masquerade, and Goddess has text on it that is not exclusively just, negate the board and link away your opponent's monster. They'll go for, Cartesia in the end phase, and we're in a very good position here. Then we'll go for Big. Unfortunately, they will chain Masquerade. We'll chain Goddess. They'll train Druis to our copy of Arias, and then proceed to, we'll pop their last card in hand here and go plus a billion. This is totally fine by us. We'll go get back all of our furniture, rip the Cartesia out of the hands so they can't make Grand Guignol, and then they'll go to battle here, crash, and then send our Goddess, which turns their Masquerade offline. From here, we will go for Lady in the end phase, go for Stovey as well, and get the last copy of Big. We'll trigger Clock, and we are so far ahead that there's just nothing that our poor opponent can do. We'll draw Arias for turn because I'm just the best player on the planet, and get in for well over lethal. So, for some other matches, I thought we, showcase some Dragon Maids. It's Dragon Maid. They're gonna Ash Prosperity as Dragon Maid players would do. We'll go for Stove here. Unfortunately, in this scenario, it's actually probably right to Ash Prosperity. And they have a pretty solid hand. They'll go for Metal Flare. They'll go into Pisty. I'm not sure why they didn't go for Striker, but that's just me. From here, they'll go for Black Metal. They'll summon out this copy of, red. They'll go for Nurse. Nurse will bring back another red. We'll go for Welcome here, just so that, when they go for all sorts of stuff, they'll go for, Ravine. That's not resolving. We'll pop this copy of Nurse, and then we'll trigger Lovely, trigger Stovey, trigger all the stuff. And from here, we'll just, pop that copy of, guy. We'll pitch this Stovey, go get a big. And from here, we are just so far ahead. They'll go for, a copy of Hieratic Seals. That's fine by me. We'll go for Big here. They can't respond to it. We'll bounce this copy of Ariana to hand, trigger all of our stuff. And from here, they'll fire Seals. They'll put this copy of Lovely back in our hand. That's totally fine. And then we'll rip the Veiler out, which is actually pretty good for us. They'll get to summon out a copy of Parlor. Parlor's going to dump, a copy of Tidying. Pretty good set for them, actually. But from here, we'll get to trigger, Arias, because they chain Tidying to our guy, which is fine by me, actually. We are just, up and cruising here. We're going to get to see exactly why, the Unchained stuff is so good. From here, we'll reset this copy of Glitch. We're going to link off for Yama. Yama's going to go get us the boy Shavaram. We'll pop our Welcome here. We don't really need it. From here, we'll make a copy of Anguish. We'll go get Escape. Anguish is going to link away their copy of Nurse, and we're going to make a copy of Unchained Soul Abomination. From here, they will tag out into a copy of Tikkun, and we will go walk over just about everything. Get in for 3,000, and then pass back to our opponent after activating our field spell while being very, very, very far ahead. They'll draw Judgment for turn, and why are you meaning Judgment? We'll pop the guy, and proceed to bin a copy of Flock. From here, we will get to Reborn everything, get to trigger, plus like 5. They'll go for Tidying. We'll get to trigger Arias again, because they just aren't reading. They'll go for Nurse. And from here, we will go get, Stovey back, go get back Ariana. Trigger Ariana, and they'll just realize that, they have plussed us by about 1 billion, and we have everything engraved, and we'll concede. So, this hand really showcases the drawbacks of the Unchained engine. As you can tell, we have drawn Escape, which is very bad. It's just a dead card. From here, they're just going to, go plus 1 billion with the very nice Altart of Hospitality. They'll bring back Chamber. They've got all the gas you could ask for in the world. From here, they'll go get a copy of Welcome, because they've hard drawn Changeover. Just everything you could ask for. From here, we'll go for Stovey so that they can't negate it. We'll set a copy of Welcome because we have the field spell. They'll make a copy of Seals, pass back to us. They're not going to shotgun this Seals, which is good news for us. Standby, they'll get back a copy of Parlor. Parlor's going to dump Tidying. Very, very good for them. We'll send an Entis. They will, bring back a copy of Chamber. We'll pop this copy of Parlor. We'll get downtime here. We'll fire the field spell and fire Lady. And from here, they're going to fire off Seals. We'll chain, Welcome Chain Lady, and we'll be met with Veiler. This is really bad for us. And realistically, I probably should have, set Daruma before I went for Lady, but it is what it is. We'll trigger Ariana, trigger Stovey here. Go search another copy of Stovey. They'll go try to plus off of their Dragon Maid, and from here we will proceed to set a copy of Big Welcome. We'll proceed to the end phase so they don't get to trigger, any of their maids in battle. They'll bring back a copy of Chamber. We'll trigger Welcome here, and proceed to clear it before they get the chance to. We'll put this, copy of Lady back in our hand. We'll trigger Welcome so we can't target. We'll trigger, all of our stuff, just everything you could ever ask for. Chain Link 5. From here we will, pop this copy of Parlor. We'll proceed to special out the Lady. They'll go for Changeover here, which is, bad for us. They'll go for Hospitality again, get out another lore part. They'll go for Changeover. This sucks for us, so we'll chain Stovey here. We'll get Big Welcome back into rotation. They'll go for Shu, set 1, pass back. In battle, they can't respond. They'll negate our Lady, but it is what it is. They'll tag into House, and we will book the board, and then proceed to get back this Stovey. And, seeing as their guy is face down and we're about to walk over just about everything, our opponent will concede. So our last set is up against Infernoble, and it's a real doozy. I don't know how to play against this deck. I really struggle to understand what it does, but we'll start with Ariana. We'll go for Arias, set Welcome. We'll go for Lady. This really showcases Arias' real potential here. We'll set Eradicator off this Welcome that we can activate this turn, get out Lovely, and then proceed to reset, with Lovely. If it was big, we'd also have gotten to Lupa card. We'll go for draw phase. We'll go EEV, call spell. We'll trigger Lady. We'll go get Big Welcome, and then proceed to loot 4 cards out of our opponent's hand. God, I'm going to miss this card when it's inevitably banned. We'll attempt to, equip a card off of Oligir, and we will book the board. And they'll say, I've seen enough, and let's go next. So this is once again a very strong hand from our Infernoble friend here. They're going to start with Neospatian Connector. They're going to go get out Aqua Dolphin, and from here we're going to fire Arias, and we have Lady and the combo I mentioned earlier. So we'll go for big, we'll chain Lady here, and we're going to proceed to, set a copy of Daruma. We're going to get out Clock, and then proceed to, bounce Clock, we'll fire Clock, and then proceed to Daruma them, booking their board before they can reach Isolde. Or have a fire to equip. From here we're in a reasonably strong position. Go to battle, we'll clear the Neospatian Connector, set 2 and pass back. But they have all the gas in the world, and Olivier is, about as good as it gets. They'll dump a copy of Phoenix Gearfried. They'll special out this copy of Renault. They'll make an Isolde. And that Imperm is looking very, very sweet. From here we'll get a copy of Regular Welcome and proceed to, hope that they don't forget the Imperm column. They'll proceed to, get an equip card, and we don't want them to get to Gearfried. We'll go for the equip, and at this point I forgot that he can banish from grave, so we'll pin a copy of Stovey and Pop, and I threw a little bit here. We'll let them equip all their guys, special it out, make an Isolde, and now they are off to their races. This is bad news for us, as this Ulti Slayer is going to be offline thanks to, Metal Silver Armor, since I can't target monsters on the field or in either graveyard except the equipped monster. Just really unfortunate. And Emperor Charles can't be targeted anyways, I believe. Just completely makes this Ulti Slayer offline. They're just going to do Infernoble things, make, Infernoble Knight, Emperor Charles here, Charlemagne, just so good. Gets to pop all my stuff, go to battle, walk over my guy. We're basically out of it. They've got, a bunch of negates. They'll get to end phase, equip their whole bunch of stuff, get Pack Renault for follow-up, have Isolde, and the field spell's not going to do it. So we will say, let's go to game 3. Now, our hand isn't looking great for this game 3, but fortunately it does include anti-spell against a hand which includes Harpy's Feather Duster, fortunately. So we'll normal summon Ariana, and set 3, they'll draw talents, and thank God for anti-spell. They'll proceed to, special summon out their only 2 monsters. We'll go get Lady, we'll proceed to draw a card, trigger Lady as well. We'll draw into a copy of Eradicator. We'll special summon this Lady, we'll go to Pop, we'll chain Lady here. We got to get more gas, we'll go for IDP. We'll pop in a copy of, Stovey, and then they'll proceed to set 4 against us. We're gonna, just try to do whatever we can to stop them, try to put up lethal, and since we've got it, our opponent will scoop it up as they have no quick effects. A very undramatic game 3, since exactly the boy of anti-spell did exactly its job, which was make sure that I don't have to go for EEV, call spell turbo, and that's just gonna be a wrap against all those combo decks. So, looking back with the deck, things that I love about Arias, it's unbelievable. Just the turn 0 plays that you get to make, the ability to, flip up a big welcome turn 0, especially when you have Lady, it feels so good. Being able to just make it so that you don't go minus when your opponent ashes you on big welcome, you get a body on board, just feels so good. You don't have to commit as much to, to earn 1 plays like with Clock. You just have to commit just 1 or 2 cards. And that feels really, really good, especially when if they do get negated, you get to, recur some advantage and usually just go into an unchained line, which feels really, really good. I can't express just how much ability to pivot that this card gives you because of its effect to, reborn itself. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed making it. I'm not sure my opponents did. But if you did, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one.